And we're starting a new 3-week series today. If you pull out your outline that's in the program, you'll see we're going to talk the next 3 weeks about power, money, and sex. Anybody interested in any of those three, by the way? The great thing is God's interested. God is interested in those three. And the surprising thing, maybe to some of you, is that God has some very positive things to say about all three of those. He doesn't just talk about the temptations. Oh, there's temptations. He also talks about the positive side. God doesn't say ignore power. God doesn't say get rid of all your money. God doesn't say forget about sex. Thank God that he doesn't say forget about sex. He does tell us how to manage all three of these areas so that instead of creating hurt and loss in our lives, they can create significance and joy. God does tell us that these three are like, they're like plutonium. You handle them just a little bit wrong, they hurt you, they hurt everybody around you. But you handle them right, there's tremendous energy and power in these. So let's get into the first of them. This week we're going to talk about power, next week we're going to talk about money, and the third week we're going to talk about sex. What does God have to say about power? What does he have to say about what power can mean in our lives? We all know the destructive side of power. You've all heard something like, well, the power's gone to his head. How do you get to the other side of power, where power goes to your heart? Where you take the power, the influence that God has given to you, and you make a difference in your life, through your life, with that power. God doesn't want you to run from power. He wants to take you and me, and he wants to take our influence, and through that make a difference in this world. He wants to harness the power in our lives. Let me put up on the screen a definition of real power, what I'm talking about. Real power is the power to make a real difference in this world, and the power to see God make a real difference in you. If you've ever wondered, how do I start hitting on all cylinders so that I feel like I'm taking who I am, who God's made me to be, and making a real impact on this world, that's the kind of power that I'm talking about. If you've ever wondered, how do I get past my own selfishness? How do I get past all the things I trip over in my own self and begin to live in a new and fresh way? That's the kind of power that I'm talking about. And Jesus was extremely clear about where this kind of power comes from. You want real power? Jesus said, here's where it comes from. First verse in your outline. But when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, Jesus said, you will be filled with power.